All right, so basically first you download PropStream and you build lists in whatever zip codes or city you want, and you can build the list however you want. Usually it's absentee or non-owner occupied, so the mailing address is going to be different than the property address. So those are the ones that are rentals. Those generally you're going to get a bit better like hit rate than owner occupied properties. They're the ones that are like distressed landlords, tired landlords that want to get the deal done quick. So you build the list on PropStream, then you use like a skip tracing software or website. There's a lot of them out there. You can look it up, or I use batch leads or batch skip tracing, and it's like 14 cents per skip trace, which is relatively expensive. There are cheaper platforms like Kind skip tracing, but I would skip trace that and then either use a texting platform or a cold calling platform. If you want to cold call yourself, I would get a dialer right away. I use batch. I'm recording this, so I'm just gonna spit all of it out and then ask any questions. Okay, so then you use batch dialer. It's a really clean dialer if you want to do the calls yourself. I use batch dialer and have like VAs calling on it. Or you use a texting platform like batch leads, basically. That's a lot easier. I think that's more efficient. So then you just upload the skip trace data to batch leads, and then you send the text. You send a maximum of 1,000 a day per batch leads account. Batch leads is kind of a pain in the ass to set up because you have to use like a third party to like connect the phone numbers. But once you got it, you got it. You send the text. And like you do like 10 different texts that like kind of cycle through, like basically saying hello, whatever their name is. Have you thought about selling the property on whatever street or at whatever address? And then you filter through, and people that say yes, you give them a call and you figure out the situation. From there, it's really about finding the 4 pillars: condition, motivation, timeline, price. And you basically get all of that information, and then you can use PropStream also to comp out the property and figure out what the after repair value is. So you put in, for example, if it's a 2-bed 1-bath, you're going to put in only 2-bed 1-baths that have sold in the last ideally 6 months within ideally less than 0.5 mile radius from the house. And you find a minimum of 3 good comps to after repair, like ideally flip comps, like nice comps, to find the ARV. And then like we were talking about before, you're going to want to be anywhere from anything under like 70% of ARV. So like usually I'll just shoot from the hip and go like 0.6 times the ARV is like a general ballpark of where I need to be at price. So if an ARV is like 100, I know I have to be at like 60 or less almost for sure. Regardless of if I'm wholesaling it or buying it or flipping it, anything. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, you figure out where you have to be on price, and then you kind of let the seller know where you'd be on price, and if there's a deal, there's a deal. But if the seller's telling me on a house that has a clear ARV of 100 that they want 130, it's just not even worth my time. So I don't, really mess with that. Sometimes if they're at like 80, it's like worth a call because you want to at least, usually people have like some room on price, and you want to like really dig in deep and like ask the right questions about like why they're looking to sell. And you want to like paint a picture in their head of like what their ideal outcome would be like after they sell. Like some people want to sell so they can go move to wherever, like they just want to liquidate, whatever. And you figure out why they want to sell and how you can help them get to that point, basically. And that will, like, you want to become buddies with the seller because they're going to want to work with you if you're just like a human, like that is a normal conversation. Like, don't be too like robotic or like just informational. Like, try to like just build some rapport with the seller, because you'd be surprised with how much people will come down on price if they like you. So you just get them to like you, but you be genuine too, and genuinely be looking to like help them. And then you're going to get the price that you want. And then, for wholesaling, you just get it under contract and you send the contract to them via DocuSign, and then at a good price. And then basically you shop the property to your buyers And, you know, say you get that property at 60K and you have a buyer at 70, you just use a normal assignment of contract, and then they close on it at 70, and then you get the 10 in the middle at closing.